Okay, so what we're going to work on in this one right here is we're going to work on derivative lab number 2. And I picked number 7 because there's 9 of them. And I don't want to be that teacher that does all the easy stuff in class and then you got to do the hard ones at home. Now, again, in your class online, in your Canvas class, I do have this all worked out and every single step. But what I would suggest is try doing it yourself because, again, I did a conference yesterday online and they keep reiterating every time you erase, you're learning. So having it up and just copying is not learning. Erasing and fixing is learning. So I have a fraction here that I want to use the definition of the derivative. I want to find the derivative function. I want to find f prime of x. So a little bit above here, I'm just going to write this. You don't need to write this every single time. But what I'm actually using is f prime of x is the limit as h approaches 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x all over h. And like I told the class yesterday, is the only difference between this and a derivative at an actual point is that instead of x's, we had a's. And there's more algebra with this because you're not going to get as many numbers. So we're actually looking for the derivative function. So I'm going to take this f of x here and I'm going to do the derivative definition to find it. So I'm going to do f prime of x is the limit as h approaches 0. And I'm going to use this function and I'm going to plug x plus h in every single spot. So I have 2 times x plus h minus 1 all over, okay, everybody good with me? X plus h minus 4, okay, that's the first thing, minus the actual function all over h. I'm writing really huge, so I might have to do this. So, okay, so that's what I have. Now, one of the things that kind of bug people on this, they're like, all right, I see that I have a complex fraction and I got to write limit again and do all that stuff. So everybody tries to do as much work as they can in one spot, which I really don't mind if I can follow your thinking, but don't do too many steps in one, please, because if I can't follow your thinking, then I can't give credit. So right here, I have a common denominator. My common denominator is going to be x plus h minus 4 and x minus 4. Those are my two common denominators. So I kind of write at an angle here. So I'm going to multiply them both. Okay. I'll put this one in front so it makes it a little bit nicer. Okay, so I'm multiplying the top and bottom by that to get that. Okay, so we're going to cancel stuff in a minute and just kind of get it set up. Okay. So by doing this, I should be getting rid of all the fractions. So I'm going to use purple here. So this all cancels out. So basically, I'm multiplying that top one, the 2 times x plus h minus 1. I'm multiplying that by x minus 4. Okay, minus this cancels out. 2x minus 1. I always do parentheses. I want to be careful. Times x plus h minus 4. So I got like a double parentheses here. Okay, well, I don't need to have a double, I guess. I just write it like that. All right, all over. And the denominators is kind of yucky looking. I'm going to write it like this. H, x minus 4 times, I'm going to use a bracket, x plus h minus 4. Okay. So I got rid of the fraction. Now, basically, this is just kind of doing, I mean, we're really done with calculus. You're just doing algebra right now. So I'm going to just like start multiplying everything else. So there's like no secret to this. It's just doing the algebra that you do and taking baby steps and writing this a gazillion times. I know that you're like, I really wish I didn't have to. So I'm going to actually start distributing this. So I have 2x plus 2h minus 1 times x minus 4. I'm going really small here. And then this one right here, when I have the x plus h right here, I'm going to actually multiply that all out as well. So I'm just going to, I guess, put this in brackets right now. And I can say, well, I don't really need this parentheses right here. I can kind of write it like this. I'm going to put it in bracket, 2x minus 1 times x plus h minus 4 to make it a little bit easier to see what we're multiplying. And again, the denominator is yucky, and we just leave it. I'm going to get rid of that second parenthesis so it doesn't confuse you, because we really don't need it after we substitute in. Okay, so I look at that, and I'm going to keep multiplying out. So what you're going to do here is multiply these out. So you got to do the distributive property twice, and then you're going to have to do the distributive, well, actually 3 times. You're going to do it for each one, and you're going to do the same with this over here. So when I go to multiply this out, okay, I'm just going to do the first half and let you continue on with this because I want to show you a little bit of another one, is you're basically just multiplying and doing all this algebra. So this first one here, I'm going to multiply x times all of this. So I have 2x squared plus 2xh minus x, all right? Then I'm done with the x. I'm going to multiply them all by -4, -8x minus 8h plus 4. So I just multiplied this first thing out, minus, and then I'm going to do a parenthesis so I can remember to change all my signs when I'm done. So I'm going to multiply all by 2x, so I have 2x squared plus 2xh minus 8x. Then I'm going to multiply them all by -1 minus x minus h plus 4. We look so smart doing this. And then I have this all over h, x minus 4, x plus h minus 4. Okay, never multiply the denominator out. So on here, what I want you to do is change all those signs and start combining everything. And then that will help you see what we got left. So let's try this. I'm going to see if I have enough room to write on here. I think I do. So I'm going to start looking at this and say, well, I have a 2x squared. This is a minus 2x squared. Thanks for playing. Okay, I have a 2xh here, and this is now minus. So remember, everything here has opposite signs. So I can say thanks for playing. I have a minus x and a minus 8x. I have a minus, and so these two are going to cancel because that turns plus, this turns plus. Those cancel out. And then the 4 minus 4, that cancels out. So I'm going to get rid of that. So when I get done, I really have just negative 8x, negative 8h, this one right here. And I'm going to subtract a negative h. So I'm really adding an h. So I end up with f prime of x, which after all of this, you're like, wow, this really kind of reduces down nice. I have a negative 7h in the numerator all over h, x minus 4 times x plus h minus 4. And now these are all factors, and I tried putting the 0 in, and I still get 0 over 0. So now I say, oh, these can divide out and cancel to make a 1. So this is the limit as h approaches 0 of negative 7 all over x minus 4, x plus h minus 4. And now I know I can plug my 0 in. So I'm going to say equals negative 7 all over x minus 4, x plus 0 minus 4. So this really equals, I'm kind of running room out of here. So f prime of x is going to equal negative 7 over x minus 4 squared. Okay? So a lot of this is the algebra, and really, once you plug it in that difference quotient, we call it, or the definition of the derivative, this is what this comes out to be. Okay? So that's 7, and you can try this on your own. Like because if you're going to study for a quiz, I would do it by yourself anyway. I think I have time to start number 9. I don't want to make you late for your next meet. So let's try number 9 here. I'm trying to pick the tricky one. So again, I did this in class yesterday where it's a fraction and a radical. So basically, you're going to plug it in the definition of the derivative again. So I'm going to find f prime of x and equals a limit as h approaches 0. Now I'm going to plug f of x plus h first. So the x plus h, all right, goes right in the x spot. So it's going to be 2 over radical x plus h minus 3, okay? And then from there, I'm going to subtract my f of x, my function, all over h, okay? Then, like I did one of these in class as well, I look at it and say, this is a complex fraction. I don't want that. So right here, I'll let you do, let's multiply everything by the common denominator, which is going to be radical x minus 3, radical x plus h minus 3. I actually kind of really like doing this once you get in the zone. It is a lot of algebra, but it makes you better at it, okay? So now I have, I don't have room to do it there, so I'm going to come down. F prime of x is a limit as h approaches 0. This is why I did limits, was to do this definition and kind of got you started with the algebra. So I say thanks for playing. I have a 2 radical x minus 3 minus thanks for playing 2 times radical x plus h minus 3 all over, yes, you guessed it. And please be careful. I always have somebody every year that forgets the denominator. It makes me sad. So I've got that going on. Then I look at it and say, oh, I can do the conjugate, so I can rationalize the numerator. So right here, I'm going to let you rationalize the numerator. And everybody always says, do I need to have the 2's there? And you really don't. So when you do that, the whole point of rationalizing is to get rid of the radical. So I'm just going to multiply it by radical x minus 3 plus radical x plus h minus 3. Now, if that makes you nervous and you were taking a quiz with me, by all means use the 2's. I don't care. All right, I really don't care. But this, in this fact, you could actually factor out the 2's and you'd see where it doesn't really matter. That to use this is one of the reasons why I want to start this. This would make it a lot less harder to use this for your conjugate, because the whole point is to get rid of the radicals, and this will work out really nice for you. So I don't want to, I just wanted to kind of start this with you, and I really wanted to show you this part right here, that's okay. But if you're uncomfortable, go ahead and put the 2 here and here in all the spots. It will work out the same. You should get the same answer, but it will be a little bit, more algebra, but I just wanted to show you that. So that's what I wanted to get you started on this lab during this meet. So hang on a second. I'm going to stop the video.